Well, good day to you folks, and welcome to yet another day where Wizards of the Coast plays Hey, Hold My Beer in their never-ending parade of finding new ways to generate controversy about themselves. And this one centers on something that I reported in an earlier video that I'll link to down below regarding Wizards of the Coast's artist use of AI to generate some of their artwork. Now, as you folks may or may not know, I create the thumbnails for this show just quickly using AI, but then I don't sell each and every one of my videos, and I tell you straight up that I'm doing that because I'm a party of one and I don't really have an art department other than me. Besides, you're here to watch or to listen to the videos, right? So it kind of came as a shock when a Wizards of the Coast artist was called out for obviously using AI to generate their artwork. So Wizards of the Coast themselves jumped right in and they issued a statement about this a little bit ago, just a few days ago. So let's take a look at that and see exactly what they had to say about it and their response to it. So let's take a quick look over there. And this comes to us from GamesRadar, and I will link this and all the other articles below. Wizards of the Coast says it was unaware of AI art in its new D&D book. This is by Liv Nagan, so let's take a look. The artwork will now be reworked following backlash from fans. D&D owner Wizards of the Coast says it had only just learnt that its upcoming book, Big B Presents Glory of the Giants, contained AI-produced artwork. A couple of days ago, D&D fans began to notice that images from the book looked like they were created using AI. The artist in question, Ilya Shpikin, Shkippin, then confirmed on Twitter that he had used AI for generating certain details or polish and editing rather than generating entire pieces of artwork using AI. Shkippin has since deleted the tweet, but screenshots of the admission show his full statement. The images produced are based on concept art drawn by artist April Prime, who said she was hired by Wizards of the Coast as a concept artist in 2022. I was unaware of the AI use, and I'm deeply unhappy with this being used in the book, Prime said on Twitter. Further adding that seeing AI used bites. And then we've got a copy of the Twitter, and there's her statement. I'm aware. I only worked as a concept artist, not as an interior artist, so the credit for me is correct. However, the artist who painted the concepts I did is openly admitting to using AI in their work, which bites. The confirmation of the use of AI has prompted fans to call for a boycott of D&D, with fans urging others not to purchase from Wizards of the Coast and instead move to other tabletop role-playing games. Hey, you know what? You can still play D&D, just play classic D&D, which is what we love here around the Delver's Dungeon. But let's go on. Yesterday evening, Wizards of the Coast finally released a statement on the matter, saying it had only found out about Shkippin's AI artwork as the D&D community did. We have discussed the art with him, and he will not use AI for Wizards' work moving forward, the company stated. It also said it'll be updating artist guidelines to make clear that artists must refrain from using AI art generation in its products. And then there's the tweet from them. Today, we became aware that an artist used AI to create artwork for the upcoming book, Big B Presents Glory of the Giants. We have worked with this artist since 2014, and he's put in years of work into books we all love. Well, you might want to go back and take a look at some of that art, Wizards of the Coast, maybe with a magnifying glass. While we weren't aware of the artist's choice to use AI in the creation process for these commissioned pieces, we have discussed it with him, and he will not use AI for Wizards' work moving forward. We are revising our process and updating our artist guidelines to make clear that artists must refrain from using AI art generation as part of their art creation process for developing D&D art. Now, I want you to remember that. I want you to keep that in mind. Skippen also stated that his illustrations are going to be reworked following talks with Wizards of the Coast. However, with the book releasing on August 15th, it's currently unclear whether the revised artwork will make it into the first print copies being shipped out. AI continues to be a controversial tool within the gaming industry, from proposals to use it in monitoring employees to deepfake adult mods using voice actors' work without their consent. To prove how dangerous AI in journalism can be, the World of Warcraft community created Glorbo, a fictitious feature, and tricked a news site driven by AI-generated content into writing about it. So we have over here, and this is actually from Seattle Times, a further statement from Wizards. And again, I want you to keep that block we quoted there. I want you to keep that in mind, because we've got another point coming. So let's take a look over at what Seattle Times said. Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons tells artists not to use AI. And this is from just a few days ago. Also, this is from August 7th. There's a cover of the beautiful Art and Arcana of Visual History, which, one thing I can tell you now, we get down on Wizards of the Coast here on the show, and rightly so, but really, Art and Arcana of Visual History is absolutely worth your time and money. I do recommend a purchase of it. Get the deluxe edition with the Tracy Lesh illustrated folio version of the Tomb of Horrors. That's my recommendation to you. But let's continue on. One of two, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, there's another illustration there. Let's take a quick look at this. And I will link to this article also. So what's their other illo? Just a stock photo. Okay. So this is by Matt O'Brien of the AP, Associated Press, taking notice. Once again, Wizards of the Coast getting noticed by national media for all the wrong reasons. The Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game franchise run by Renton-based Wizards of the Coast says it won't allow artists to use artificial intelligence technology to draw its cast of sorcerers, druids, and other characters and scenery. AI art is supposed to be fanciful, but at least one axe-wielding giant seemed too weird for some fans, leading them to take to social media to question if it was human-made. Hasbro owned D&D Beyond, which makes online tools and other companion content for the franchise, said it didn't know until Saturday that an illustrator it had worked with for nearly a decade used AI to create commissioned artwork for an upcoming book. The franchise, run by the Hasbro subsidiary Wizards of the Coast, said in a statement that it has talked to the artist and is clarifying its rules. And of course, we have more of their statement there. He won't use AI for Wizards' work, etc., etc., etc. We're revising our processes. Today's AI-generated art often show telltale glitches, such as distorted limbs, which is what caught the eye of skeptical D&D fans. That's you guys. All right? You guys did this, and good on you. Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast didn't respond to requests for further comments Sunday, probably because every time they comment, something bad happens. And of course, the art is for Bigby Presents, Glory of the Giants, $60 book. You're getting Bing image generator prompts for $60, folks. The use of AI tools to assist in creative work has raised copyright and labor concerns in a number of industries, helping to fuel the Hollywood strike, causing the music industry's Recording Academy to revise its Grammy Awards protocols, and leading some visual artists to sue AI companies for ingesting their work without consent to build image generators that anyone can use. Hasbro rival Mattel used AI-generated images to help come up with its ideas for its new Hot Wheels toy cars, though it hasn't said if it was more than an experiment. Okay, so here we've got a reinforcement of what was said in the Game Rant article. But remember when I told you to keep in mind, just keep that in mind, put it over to the left, and hang on to it. The statement by Wizards of the Coast. Let's take a journey back in time to August 1st, and this article on Bell of Lost Souls. Is AI taking over D&D? Hasbro partners with Explored for AI-driven game mechanics. And again, I'll link to this article. Also, this comes to us from J.R. Zambrano. AI is creeping into every corner of every industry, and a recent announcement from Hasbro has many wondering how AI is coming to D&D. Now, all of you guys, especially if you've been following me since things started blowing up with Wizards of the Coast in an almost universally negative way back in January, know full well that Wizards of the Coast stated flatly they were bringing AI to Dungeons & Dragons. Promising AI-driven mechanics that will enrich tabletop experiences, Hasbro announced a partnership with Explored, developers of the Tiburu, a digital board game platform. Tiburu, if you're unfamiliar, is all about seamlessly integrating physical and digital worlds, keeping players focused on the board while the system takes care of the actual playing of the game. In other words, you just sit and stare while a robot does everything. Seriously, they want D&D to become with folded hands, I swear. And Tiburu itself is a blast from the past. We first encountered Tiburu during the before times at Gen Con in 2019. That's back in the before times, owing to, everything the platform's launch didn't go as planned. To the point where it's only recently that the platforming games have started coming out. Most recently, they had The Bad Karmas and are currently working on crowdfunding a cooperative board game set in the World of Darkness with Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising featured above. Well, only this past week, Explored and Hasbro announced the partnership. Obviously, board games are going to be a big first step, but with a focus on AI-driven mechanics in the announcement and a carefully evasive interview, many are wondering if Hasbro and WotC are looking to bring AI to D&D. And if so, how? They've already stated they were. They stated back in January they were going to. In a press release full of buzzwords about how the new technology will integrate and blend and empower hybrid play, many seem to catch a buried sentence that implies much more is coming. Hasbro and Explored have reached a strategic partnership to transform board games through the integration of smart sensing technology and dynamic multimedia content. I hope you brought a big fork. That's a lot of word salad, isn't it? Under the terms of the agreement, Explored will collaborate with Hasbro and develop a new tabletop platform that integrates digital and physical play for fans around the world. As the global leader in tabletop games, we, Hasbro, envision a future where technology seamlessly integrates into analog gaming experiences, and working with Explored enables us to deliver innovative gameplay to our players and fans, limitless digital expansions to physical game, seamless onboarding. I love that those two words are completely meaningless. They literally, Hasbro could have said, limitless digital expansions to physical games, blank, blank, and it would have had as much meaning. And powerful AI-driven game mechanics. Whether it's seamless integration or seamless onboarding, one thing Hasbro's sure of is that whatever way you use Tiburu and its new technologies, you won't find any seams. You'll barely even notice that you're using it. However, it's the AI-driven mechanics that has a D&D community worried about what it might mean for Dungeons & Dragons. I'm telling you what it means. I'm going to tell you right now what it means, and you can heed this or not. Again, they said in January, folks, they said back in January, they were going to stick AI in D&D, all right? They got caught a few days ago. But it's coming. However, let's see. Oh, right. Especially with WotC pivoting to a digital-first model with D&D going forward, the new virtual tabletop and D&D Beyond are their biggest way in the future. Books aren't going anywhere. Yeah, I don't believe that one. But the VTT and its digital marketplace are taking center stage, at least if Hasbro has any say in it, they are. Whether or not it will last is ultimately up to the players who've proven able to make the billion-dollar industry giant blink before, but that's a whole other story. And we've told that story here on this channel, so I'm proud to say. For now, an interview with Hasbro Gaming Senior Vice President Adam Beal shared some evasive clarity on what that means. Our approach here is to thoughtfully add multimedia content and digital capabilities to enrich storytelling, game mechanics, and player onboarding. Again, blank blank. While preserving what people value in board games, face-to-face interactions, and the satisfying tactility of rolling dice and moving physical components, we plan to use AI and other software capabilities to create dynamic experiences that can instantly react to player decisions and rules resolution without the complexity of lengthy instructions. You slow, pathetic humans and your stupid minds, AI will fix it all, is basically what he's saying. And in the interview with GamesRadar, Beal points out that Taboo is only the jumping off point. Hasbro plans to go so much further. When asked about plans for long-running franchises like D&D, Beal responded, "We feel that the application of this new technology will allow us to both enrich our current portfolio." Oh, you're going to try to enrich yourselves. Of games and expand our horizons to entirely new games. We can't say much more than that for now, but we're very excited for the money to come. Innovations to come. It looks like that virtual tabletop launch in 2024 or beyond is going to be an interesting one. So, folks, here's the thing. I don't think for a minute that this mistake was a mistake with the art. I'm going to get a little foil hat on you here. I'm going to get a little, a little conspiracy theory on you here. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I think they've been doing it. I think if you went over a whole raft of recent D&D books, you could probably find AI art slipped in here and again. And that's how they're going to pull this off. They're going to slowly push it on people. But here's the thing. Drive-through RPG, which is a component of One Bookshelf, which is the digital distribution front for Hasbro Wizards of the Coast when it comes to D&D PDFs, they've already said that you've really got to watch your P's and Q's. As we talked about that last week. Roll20 has already said no to AI. Now, granted, Wizards of the Coast is trying to come up with their own virtual tabletop, but you notice here, Hasbro has basically picked up a turnkey solution. Wizards of the Coast has tried to go fully digital since 2000, all right? And they've always fallen flat on their faces, whether it's been externalities, whether it's been their own internal incompetence. It's never worked out. It has never worked out. So I think this is just them grabbing at something, anything that they think might work. And I think the whole art thing was literally them trying to slip something past people. That's just my 2 cents. But of course, I want to know what you guys think. So please leave a comment below. Tell us what you think. If you haven't clicked subscribe already, please do click the subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications. And thank you very much for watching the video. And leave a thumbs up on it if you like it. I'll be back later, probably. Today we've got another video coming out. Something a little positive, something down from our end of the swimming pool. But until then, be good to each other and don't sit there with folded hands. Pick up your dice and roll them, and don't let a robot tell you what to do or what good art is. Peace.